Feral, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Savana Montana. I'm super excited to have you here. This is my very first podcast, so a lot comes along with that when you're starting your own show. I've talked about doing a podcast for 3 years now, and I'm just finally in 2025 sitting down with you to put my voice out there and have a conversation with my audience and like-minded men and women who resonate with my story and my experiences. But let's get down to it. So who am I? Who is Savana Montana, and why are we listening to her? I'm a girl. I'm a girl just like you. So long story short, I moved from Montana to South Florida when I was 19 years old on a whim. I had no plan. I had no goals, to be honest. I just knew that I needed to get out of my hometown or I was going to always stay the same. I always had a huge vision for bigger things and wanting more out of myself and out of life, but I knew that I wasn't going to find that where I grew up, which there's nothing wrong with that. I love my small town. I love Montana and everybody in every part of what that was growing up for me, but I knew that I needed more and I knew that I wanted more out of my life. So I chose to flip the script, go somewhere completely different, literally across the country, top to bottom. Here I am. So Savana Montana, I'm Savana from Montana. Montana is not my actual last name, although a lot of people think so. That is my brand name. So I hope that you enjoy it as much as I do, because it just kind of works. So what feral means to me, it was very, very hard for me to actually come up with a name for my podcast show because so many, if you guys know, names are already taken. There are multiples of names already. My brand is about being unapologetic and authentic about who you are and stop apologizing for your truth. So finding a name that resonated with that wasn't hard, but it was hard if it wasn't already taken. Feral was another word that really resonated with me because I'm very off the cuff. I'm off the script, and I pride myself on that and other people around me for showing who they truly are. When you're feral, you're undomesticated. You're aggressive, you're a little loud at times. No one's expecting what you're going to be doing because you don't fall in line. I'm very out of the box. I scribble. I'm always bouncing off the walls. So feral to me was a very fitting name. And I also grew up in Montana. So being around feral animals all of the time was something that came from my childhood and something that I really enjoyed, which kind of makes sense how I became the way that I am and why I'm so outspoken and how I came to be Savana Montana. If you did press play and you are listening to the show, I really appreciate it. What you can expect on the show is to get a lot of funny stories, uncomfortable conversations. I will be having guests on the show, so it's not just going to be me doing solo episodes all of the time. I will also have guests on my show who embody feral in their own way. So when I bring somebody on, it's basically that episode will be all about them and finding out who they are through their stories, their experiences, and why feral resonates with them and why being unapologetic and standing out and stepping into their authenticity was important to them, just like me. So as the episodes go on, you'll learn more about me. You'll learn more about my guests and why we're really here. So I encourage you to ask questions. You can email me questions. You can write questions in the comments. The more that you guys interact with me, the more I can give you on this show. So I want you to resonate with it as much as possible. So anything that clicks for you or hits a place of home or heart, please let us know, because that's what keeps me going. And that's what will make these episodes more fulfilling, not just for myself, but also for you as listeners. So a little bit of my backstory on how I came to start Feral and start a podcast was there was a little bit of a breaking point with me. I had talked about it for so long and I was so sick of talking about it. Frankly, I was sick of my own shit. I've spoken about doing it for so many years to my then boyfriend, who's now my fiance, and he's like, you still don't have a fucking podcast. Why are we even talking about this? You're clearly never going to do it. So shut the fuck up about it. But I didn't. I just kept talking and talking and talking. I built this beautiful studio for him to use. And he's like, you literally created all this and you're still not using it. So I just hit a point in 2025 where I bet myself that I wouldn't do all the things I said I was going to do. And because I made that bet with myself, I started to do all the things that I said I was going to, because I'm betting against myself, essentially, which is difficult to do, but for a person like me, if anybody ever tells me that I can't or that I won't, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. Kind of how I ended up in South Florida from Montana. Nobody said that I would. There's no way. She's not going to make it. She'll come back. Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, fuck that. No, I'm still here. I don't know how, but somehow I've made it this far, and I didn't come this far just to get this far, so I'm still going. So starting a podcast to empower other people to do the same thing. Or if you've been talking about something for a really long time and you just haven't put your money where your mouth is, maybe this episode or this podcast will inspire you to do that for yourself in your own areas of life where you feel like you're lacking. But in order to do that, you have to be super honest with yourself, and you do have to have the uncomfortable conversations, which is there's no better place in a podcast to have an uncomfortable conversation because somebody's going to take something from that. Not just me by me sharing my story, I'm gaining just by speaking things into existence or sharing my past, my present, and my future with you. But you guys can do the same thing. So me starting a podcast, something that scared the shit out of me and made me extremely uncomfortable, is super empowering, and I want it to empower other people to do the same thing. So put yourself out there, show people what you've got. It's never too late. I don't care if you're 60 and you're listening to this, or if you're 19. If you're 19, fuck you. I'm super jealous. I would like to go back 10 years. But no, I'm just kidding. You're fabulous. But yeah, just bet on yourself and put yourself in that situation to win, because you will win. And if you don't win and you fuck up and you totally fail, it's okay. Because guess what? You get to try again. It's a great situation to be in. We live in America. It's, freedom central. So just do it. Put yourself in that situation. So that's what I did here. And now I have Farrell, and now I'm sitting in a chair with a mic on a camera talking to you beautiful fucking people about how the hell I got here. Farrell is a podcast where you can come to check in with yourself. When you feel like you're lost, or you feel like you're out of the moment and you want to step back into the moment or be more present with who you are, this is the place that I want you to come. Because you don't have to be perfect when you're here. You're not perfect, FYI, and neither am I. But I have found the beauty in falling in love with my imperfections and screaming them from the rooftops, because I think it's hilarious, one. I think being quirky and being weird and goofy and loud and messy is something to be celebrated and not something to be corrected constantly. I've dealt with a lot of criticism in my life, and I feel like most people have. So you dim down all these amazing qualities that you have because somebody else or some book or some script or some job said you need to fall in line and you need to do this and you need to be this way, but that's simply not the truth. It's not my truth anyways. So on the show, you'll have a lot of awakenings, at least I hope that you will, about things that aren't typically spoken about and things that people hide, and we're here to crack open those truths. So if you're feeling that way, or in moments of time where you feel alone, or like you just need to get back on track, or if you just want to laugh and you just want to hear some funny shit and you just want to have a good time, come to Farrell and listen to the show, because that's what we're here for. And I encourage everyone to always comment, question, email, whatever they have going on, because those are topics that we can speak about on the show. And and bringing in new guests. It's always going to be different. It's always going to be fun. This isn't a place to talk about small things. It's about, not being small anymore and being larger than life. So this is a place where you can definitely do that. I am really big into motivation, inspiration, female empowerment, lifestyle. I really did turn my lifestyle into a brand. It just by waking up and just by being myself, I'm like, I'm a hot mess. I really am. I'm a fucking hot mess all of the time. Actually starting a podcast was an intentional reason to combat my inconsistency. My fiance will tell you all the time, I'm the most fucking inconsistent person you will ever meet, and he is not wrong. I wish that he was, but he's not. I change my mind all the time. I'm super indifferent. I can't answer a simple question. Do you want butter on your popcorn or do you not want butter? I don't know. That's too big of a question. I'm fucking lost. Now I've got hives and I'm itching. It's that ridiculous sometimes that I can't be consistent and I don't show up for myself, and I have all these issues that I deal with on my own, but through time I've learned to combat them. And then by starting a podcast, I have to be consistent. I have to show up for myself every single day to support the show and to support my viewers and be here for you guys. So it's, if I don't show up, I'm letting myself down first and foremost, and then I'm also letting you guys down. I'm not perfect. I'm a fucking hot mess, but that's okay. And so I'm here to show you that it's okay. It's also great to combat the things that you don't love about yourself, because you can fix them. You can make them different. Even if they're super embarrassing, you can be loud about it. You can be quiet about it, whatever suits you, but don't run from it. Don't hide from it. It's super important. And it's literally the entire reason that this podcast exists, is because it is my mission to show you that you can change and you can grow and you are important just the way that you are. So the second you start owning it, the further along you're going to get. But you got to start somewhere. So if you can start here at Feral and get to your next point, then more power to you. It was a long journey learning to become unapologetic about who I am. I wasn't always this way. And what I mean by that is that have I always been a loudmouth? Yes. Have I always cursed like a sailor? Absolutely. Was I outspoken as a kid? Was I a troublemaker? I was a class clown. I was all those things. Yes. I was born this way. This is what you get when you get a Savana, Montana. But becoming unapologetic about who I was and voicing that and sharing that with the world was no simple task, because as you get older, more fears seep in. Your reason for why you do anything becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, and it gets stronger, which gets scarier. At least it did for me. So I became afraid of all these things. Well, what do people think about me? Or what do people say? Or what about my family? Or what about my grandfather? Or what about my mom or my brother? All these outside voices. You don't know what other people think about you. So do yourself a favor and just stop fucking thinking about it right now, because there's no way of knowing other people's thoughts about you, and they genuinely don't matter. What you think of yourself is what matters. So when I turned 27, I literally woke up and I felt different. On my 27th birthday, I shit you not, I was like, I'm not the same person anymore. I don't view things the same. I don't feel the same. I feel different. I love the area of my life that I'm in. But as things went down the road, I realized that, holy shit, I have a lot of stuff to figure out. But I know where I'm going and I know who I am, and that's the best place to start. It took me 27 years to get there, and it's a different number for everybody. 27 was just mine. There's actually statistics around turning 27, and I don't even know if it's for men and women, but your 27th birthday, for a lot of people, they say it's a pivotal moment in time. Ironically enough, my mom also said she knew exactly who she was at 27, excuse me, not 29. I'm 29 now. I don't know why I'm telling you that, because I'm not stoked about being at the end of my 20s, but here we are. So, yay, that's me. 27. So, 27th birthday, totally changed everything. Granted, my mother already had 2 children by the time she was 27. So her having a better idea of who she was is probably very different than mine. I am not married yet. I am engaged to be. I'm 27 and I don't have any kids. But I feel like I'm on the right path, right trajectory of my life. So that was a huge pivotal moment for me. And that's when I knew I needed to make a strong decision on helping other people find that moment in time for themselves. So when I hit that moment, I realized very quickly that I wasn't showing people who I was. I was shrinking myself to fit in for other people. I was not using my words at all. I would go along with what other people were saying just to make them feel better about themselves, when truly it made me feel like shit. I wouldn't speak up. If I had an opinion about something, I would keep it to myself, because I knew that it was going to offend that person. Because basically, if my opinion is different than this person's opinion, then I'm going to create controversy, and then they're not going to like me, or they're going to think this about me, or it's going to spark an argument. Now I have anxiety. Now I'm so uncomfortable. I'm sitting over here pretending to be somebody that I'm not in order to make somebody else feel comfortable. Fuck that. If you ever do that, do yourself a favor. Learn from me. Go on my social media or listen to the show. You should not be doing that, because you don't deserve to feel silenced or boxed in or caged in like a wild animal who needs to get out. You need to say what you think. You need to show people what you're about and who you are and why you feel the way that you do. And you should never have to feel sorry about your truth, because it is who you are, and that matters. You're born worthy. You don't gain worth by growing up. You were already born worth it. You are enough. People forget that all the time. And as you get older, the thought of that becomes scarier and scarier and bigger because it surrounds you. It's around you all the time. And outside opinions seep in. Self-limiting beliefs seep in. That's something I've struggled with a lot, is dealing with self-limiting beliefs and talking myself out of everything, which is why it took me 3 fucking years to start a podcast, because I didn't believe in myself. I was like, I can't do that. And here's why, and here's why, and here's why. All of it's bullshit. None of that's true. That's just negative self-talk, and you should not be doing that to yourself. As I became more unapologetic and stepped into my authenticity, it got easier. Was it hard? Yes. Was it uncomfortable? Sure. Was it scary as shit? Abso-fucking-lutely. But the more that you repeat that kind of behavior and step into your true sense of self, the easier it gets. It's not always that hard. As I'm sitting in front of you and in front of this mic, I get to say that because I've done the work. So I just kept putting myself in uncomfortable situations, and I would have arguments with people, and I would go against the grain, and I would say how I felt, and I would throw out an F-bomb when someone was like, you can't curse in front of me. Then don't fucking hang out with me, because I'm not quiet. I'm loud. Sometimes I'm quiet, and if I'm sweet and I'm soft, that's who I am in that moment. But in other moments, I'm loud and I'm unforgiving and I'm unapologetic, and you're going to get what you see. What you see is what you get with me, but I wasn't always that way. So if you feel like you're in a situation where you have to pretend to be somebody else or somebody that you're not for an outside person or perspective or opinion, thought, whatever that may be, take your power back and start to show the world who you are, because you deserve it. It's as simple as that. It's not easy to do, but it will get easier the more that you pick up that repetition and put everybody else's opinions aside, and you just keep going, because you're allowed. You don't need a permission slip. You write your own permission slips. You don't have to ask for anyone or from anyone. You can do that all on your own. So part of my podcast is showing you the experiences that I've gone through, and even on social media, what I've done in my life to combat that adversity and remember who the fuck I am. Because I did, for a very long time, forget who I was, and then I hid who I was, which was worse because then I had to sit in it. But now I'm showing the world who I am, and it's way better on this side. So I welcome you to join me over here. If nothing else, I want you guys to walk away from this introductory episode knowing that you're not the only one. I'm here with you. I'm here for you. I'm about you. Whether I'm your hype girl or your confidant or your coach through some of the hardest times of your life, I'm here for you. That's what I'm here for. That's what this show is about. So I want to have a lot of fun. I want to bring out a lot of pain points for people, including myself. I want to talk real shit, have a lot of fun, get excited, do all the things all in one place. So subscribe, follow, share. If you have anybody or know anybody that you think would benefit from this podcast, or you just fucking like me and you're like, follow this bitch, she's crazy, she's fun, we're going to have a good time, I can't wait to see the next episode or listen to it or watch it, whatever, share it. I am Savana Montana, your host, and I will see you on the next episode.